Hi everyone, Luna Gamer Alex here. Welcome to my game room. I'm gonna continue playing Cthulhu Dark Providence here. I haven't touched this game in almost a week, maybe. I just wanna make sure that I get back to it. You know, before I forget what's going on with this particular playthrough. Now, last session I forgot to do something, and I made sure that I positioned the cards so that I remember when I start another session. And what I've forgotten was actually the resolving the Washington D.C. Um, city card for the cultist, for cultist number 2, because he was able to get this claim this city, but then we gave the elder one the victor points, but I never resolved the city card. So we're gonna go ahead and do that before I take my turn. So and he would have been here actually when it happened, because he was able to do one thing. He was able to claim a city, but then he was not able to assassinate, and that's why he moved to Charleston. So the first thing for us to resolve there is the claiming the primary asset card. So he's going to be able to claim a place to influence here. And then the other thing looks like is the progression of the ritual tracker. So he's able to move that up by 2. 1, 2. Okay. And then that's done. So that's resolved. Yeah, it is easy to forget that. Okay, so now it's back to us. And I think what I wanted to do is get New York City, because that's why I placed the influence here. So I'm going to go ahead and claim that. And then remember, since we have the Yog Sothoth Mythos card, when we claim this primary asset, we're able to use it immediately. So I'm going to go ahead and claim that city, and I get 6 VP. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so now I'm being noticed by the Elder Gods, so they can assassinate me if they get the assassinate action. Okay, so let me just go ahead and find the New York City card here. Where is it at? It's not here. Why is it not here? That's a little troubling. Okay, because if it's not here, then it must be here. So I can look for it, but then we have to. Hopefully, it's not in one. Yeah, that'd be bad if it's in one of these unrevealed primary asset card. Hopefully, that's not the case. So let me see here, and then I will just have to reshuffle this. I mean, it's still savable. I mean, this game, if it's in one of those unrevealed cards, I think it might be because it's not here. Okay, so what we're gonna do is I'll just reveal them and then replace them with a new unrevealed card. Okay, so we'll just fix it that way. So thankfully it's fixable. It will, stuff like this happens all the time when you're playing these tabletop games. It's unfortunate, but it happens. I made sure that I separated them and all that, but sometimes you get unlucky. Okay, so that's a pretty good enough shuffle, I think. So I'll have to reveal all of those cards and then see if we can find the New York city card. I'll make sure to check here too. I don't think, yeah, It's definitely there. Let me double check here just to make sure. Okay. Pittsburgh, St. Louis. Oh, here it is. Okay. Oh, yeah, I knew that I did the right thing. I know that I did it right. I don't know why. Maybe I was stuck behind another card because it was sticky or something. Okay, so here it is, New York City. So I get to place this in my hand immediately. And then let me just place this here. Okay. With New York City, it looks like it's just going up or down on the... you can either move up your investigation tracker or move up the ritual tracker, so one of those two. So let's see if that's what we want to do or want to do something else. Probably the better thing for us to do here is to place influence somewhere. I think the Watleys, that's a pretty good mythos card. It's pretty cool actually the way it works. So maybe I need to place, let me place influence here. So as many influences as we possibly can. So I still have a bunch of influence cubes. So let me just use 1, 2. Let's put 4 influence cubes there. Because I know one of these, yeah, you never know. They can place at least 3, I think, maximum. Remember the cultist one has been revealed. We need to reveal cultist too, so that he will have also one less resource. But I'm going to use these 3 cards to use 4 influence cubes on the mythos card here. All right. Now I need 2 cards. Yeah, wouldn't that be crazy to actually replace every single one of those hidden primary asset cards just to look for that New York City card? Insane. Okay. Okay, so now we're going back to the Elder God and see what the cultists are going to do. Cultist number 1 is going to perform its cultist effect. I don't think we've done it before because this is the second go around. We've gone through 8 before. I mean 8 turns for the cultist. Okay, so add asset to the primary asset card in each city. No, this is the first time we've done this. We haven't done 8 rounds actually with Cthulhu. Okay. Because I would have remembered that. That's crazy. So add 1 influence to the primary asset card in each city adjacent to the city this cultist is in, following the path order. Okay. So only the city adjacent, not where she's at, just adjacent according to the path. So that means this, so that's a fail. So how does that work? If it's a fail, I guess with any fail action, she's going to move. But in this case, yeah, how do you resolve this? See, this needs like an explanation for sure. Like, so if there's none, I know whenever there's a fail action, the cultist is supposed to move. So, but I think the way that we'll probably do this is like resolve the action, and then because it's just 1 action here, even though there are 2 actions, 1 instruction, I would say complete the whole instruction and then move the cultist. Because it doesn't make any sense, right? Because it says add an influence to the primary asset card in each city adjacent, and we're just saying adjacent, so not the city where she's in, because then she would have placed 1 in on Houdini over there. So instead she's going to place 1 here, but she couldn't, so she's going to move 1 spot, and then the other one adjacent, and we're still going to follow this as a reference. So the second one adjacent is Explorers Club, so this city, so we're going to place 1 there. Okay, and that's it. Okay, and that makes sense actually strategically for Cthulhu, because Cthulhu's whole deal to win the game without worrying about victory points is he needs to exhaust the resource cards for 5 cities. So he already have one exposed here, so he needs to remove 4 more spots, 4 more cities actually without resources for him to win. Okay, and then for cultist number 2, it says claim a mythos card. He can't because he doesn't have any influence over there, so he's going to move to Atlanta. And then after that, he's going to place influence on the primary asset card here. So in this case, he has 2 on Arcane Conspirator. Okay, and back to me. Alright, so we're not going to play around here. We're going to go ahead and grab the Watley's Mythos cards. Okay, so when you claim this, place the Watley's tokens face up on this card. Okay, so this creepy trio here. So I'm going to place that here. It's my second Mythos card. And I do have to do a sanity test, but let me just go ahead and place these on here. So you flip one Watley token face down to gain its resources as part of an action. That's what you can use this for. And then as an action in itself, you can so you can take one action to refresh these resources. So I'll place these here. The cool thing about this is now you have access to 2 power at any given time. So if we're going to assassinate, we know that we have 2 power on top of what we have on hand. So that would be action number 1. Action number 2, let me see here. I'd still have 3 influence cubes. We probably need an agent that can help us close gates, maybe. Or we can even close this gate here. But here's the whole deal about closing gates. So we do need to have agents available to sacrifice for gate closing, because right now you can see that I already have 1 insanity token. There is a Mythos card that can bump that to 5, but if you get 3 insanity tokens, the game is over as well. You've driven insane, and that will trigger, but it doesn't. It's not an automatic failure. It's not automatic game over. It's just that's gonna trigger an end game, and then after that you count your victory points. So that's different than Cthulhu just winning flat outright from just draining resources from 5 different cities. But we have to keep that in mind. So we need to make sure that we have agents to potentially sacrifice to get what we want. And then, of course, having agents also will help us try and ambush the second cultist. And then some of these agents can close gates, so it's always good to have that card available so that we can take that action. There are 2 agents that we can recruit. We can recruit Houdini or Jared Leco over there. So I think I want him because he has the ability to assassinate and also close gates. And the closing gates is to help us score victory points. We're not that far away actually from the Elder God when it comes to the victory points. And if we trigger an end game, as long as our victory point is higher than the Elder God, then we can still win. And then if it's a draw, we still win. That means that we sacrifice ourselves to get rid of the Elder God. So So let's place an influence over there to get that card. Let me look at these other ones though. Let's see what else we have. Remember with Strange Eons, just claiming this actually would nab me Arkham. Oh, and then the city goes to your hand, but we already have Yog-Sothoth for that anyway, so that's kind of redundant. But this is an easy way to just claim New York City, Arkham. Arkham is easy to claim. It's just, well, no, because you have to put influence there. Yeah, let's try and get him. So let's use. They're pretty far away from that card, so I'm going to use just one influence on that. I'm going to use this card, place one influence, and then draw one. Okay. Back to the cultist. Cultist 1 is now going to open a gate. Where is she at? She is over here. She needs 5 VP to open that gate. Oh yeah, and she's going to be able to. Looks like she has 1 power on her. 1 on this card, and then 3 here, and she only needs 5, and she has 5, so barely. But she's able to open that gate. So, oh, and let me just let me do that sanity check before she does her sanity check. So, the sanity check is for claiming that Mythos card. And I got an insanity. Okay, so now I know that I can't claim cards that has an insanity token anymore, because it's going to take just 1 to end the game for me, unless I want to risk it if I really, really want the card so badly. When it comes to opening gates, closing gates, then I have to use my agent to close gates, so that I'm safe from, going insane, and, you're probably gonna lose your agent, unless, there is this Revenant card here at the top. Well, the only difference is Revenant card can't be assassinated. I think they can still die from opening gates, so they just can't be assassinated. I think the opening gates thing, it's not considered being assassinated. It's just when you draw an insanity token, you just as an agent, not agent, your agent, not your main agent, but your lackey. You don't have the mental fortitude to survive just 1 insanity token. Let me just see here. Yeah, recruited agent performing action. Agent is obliterated if an insanity token is drawn. So they're not as experienced as us when it comes to closing these gates. So they did it wrong. They're fucked. They're dead. So it doesn't matter if you're Revenant or not. Okay. So let's give them this. Where was that? Over here. So, whoa, that's 5 BP. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. And then add influence to the primary asset card on this city. So she's going to add 2 more here. For Cultist 2, he's going to attempt to claim a city, but he doesn't have any influence in any of these cities. So he's going to fail and he's going to move to New Orleans. And then the second action is add influence to any available Mythos card, and currently there's none. So he's going to move to Arkham. Okay. Back to us. Um, yeah, so we're gonna claim the agent, and remember, since we have this mythos card, the Yog-Sothoth, we get this card immediately. The first primary asset card you claim to your hand. So you may add it to your hand. So you can choose not to, but you may add it to your hand, but you want to. Because now we can assassinate. Oh no. Yeah, this is easy to assassinate because it's 2 VP. And then the next card there's the FBI. Okay. So we're going to use Agent Gerard action here because we get to use this card immediately to assassinate. So, and all I have to do is just use 1. He has 1 power already on his hand, on his tablet, character tablet there, and then 1. I'm going to use this other card, 1, to for a total of 2 power to assassinate or reveal that cultist. Okay, so these are the cards that I use. But that will end my turn. So, because the first action is claiming the agent. Second action is the assassination. So all that we did when we assassinated a cultist is they go from unrevealed to revealed, and they have less resources to play with. And now we don't have to. Oh, you know what? We can't do that. So I have to return everything. Hold on. We can't do that. Because there's a rule. Did I actually, where did I put it? Where did I put the card? Okay, I have to reshuffle this because I just looked at it. Because I was looking for the agent card. Because I forgot. Don't forget the rule now. There's a rule for this. So I have to return these. I cannot claim this because he is yet to be revealed and he's in that city space. So I cannot claim that agent. We almost fucked that up. So, ooh, that would have ruined the game completely. Okay, let me just give this a better shuffle here. So I have to do something else for this first action. Yeah, that would have been nice. And I think the reason why they put that rule there is to avoid something like this. To just claim the agent and then just kill the cultist. Or reveal the cultist, you know. I can see how that... Well, this is just a powerful thing for the cultists. They try to make... I noticed that they try to make the Elder God and the cultist and its cultist pretty OP. And then when you're playing this solo, you're doing stuff more for them than for yourself, seemingly. Because they both take separate actions, so you're moving for 2 different characters, so resolving for 2 the characters that you're fighting against, you know. And then when it's your turn, it seems like it's pretty quick, unless you know you can just kind of slow down and just strategize. But let's see. Let me look at these cards and see if there's some anything I like. Well, we definitely need agents to start closing gates. And we're closing gates just so that we can get the VP. The cool thing about closing gates, opening gates, that's a permanent thing. Once you open it, it can't be closed. And once you close it, it can't be open. So when you claim the city, it can always... your opponents can always, or you can always place influence on top on the city and steal it away from each other. So so closing gates is a better way to make sure that you get victory points, but of course there's a risk involved. Um, you know what? Let's try and get Houdini. Okay. I will use. So this is my first action. I'm gonna use one influence. And then my second action is I'm gonna go ahead and move my investigation track up. So by one, using the New York City card, and I'm going to use Lavinia Watley's power here to boost it up by one. So I get to move this up by two. So she is exhausted. Her power is exhausted. And then I need two new cards. Okay. Now it is the Elder God's turn, and this is the 8th round. Okay. I've been playing close to half an hour, huh? So maybe we'll just do one more turn after this. Okay, so Cultist 1 is going to claim a city and then assassinate. She can't claim... Oh no, she can. So she's going to claim St. Louis. And then they get the title lock. And that's 4 VP. 1, 2, 3, 4. And moving so fast. And then we have to resolve the St. Louis card here. So she is going to place 2 influence on this primary asset card where she's at. And then she's going to reduce the investigation track by 2. 1, 2. So we're all the way back down to 0 there with investigation. And then and then she's going to assassinate, but she can't. Where's the card? Oh. And then she's going to assassinate, but she has nobody to assassinate, so she's going to move to Pittsburgh. Cultist number 2 is going to claim a primary asset card. So so you could get this one or this one. So it doesn't matter. So we'll just use, because they both have equal value, I think. Yeah, they needed to establish some kind of rule when it comes to... so maybe this is the rule that we're going to use, because this is never defined in the rule book. Like when they place influences in multiple different primary asset cards and they don't have any competition. Because if they say that, claim the one where they have the most influence over the player. It's how they describe it in the rule book. But see, I mean, this cultist is not in competition with anybody when it comes to these 2 cards. So I think whenever that happens, we just go by chronological order. Or it's even hard to track chronologically, because if this cultist has actually gone through this map twice, we don't know which one he placed that influence, which cards that he has placed the influence before, at first. Like which one has seniority when it comes to the timeline with the where he placed down the influence cubes. So we'll just go by the path then, from the top to the bottom, the whole S situation, the S-shaped path. So if we're gonna look at it that way, then he's going to claim this one. Yeah, it's just that that needs to be elaborated a little bit more. But look at this. Now another one is exposed. This goes up by 2. And we're going to resolve this for cultist 2. 3 power. What is the power? Power, I think, is he's going to attempt to open a gate. Let me just make sure that that is the case. Yep. And then it's going to include all the cards. So 1 here, 1 power here, 1 power on this card, 1 power on his tablet, character tablet, and then 3 here. So that's 6. He needs 7 though to to do it. So he's going to fail, thankfully. So he's going to move here to Boston. Okay. And then after that, he's going to add influence to the primary asset card in the city. So he's going to place 2 on the anarchist card over there. Oh, goes there. Okay. We're going to do one more round. And then there was one more thing that I have to do there. I need to draw a new mythos card because this has been revealed. So on top of the them getting the investigation, ritual tracker up. Yeah, this game is hard. Maybe the strategy is always try to not to worry too much about the primary asset cards unless they're useful, and then try to claim as many cities as possible. Maybe it would be a better strategy, because remember that every time they're able to claim a city or it's everything. Like the odd is stacked against you, but I think that's what makes this game highly playable for me, because I know people don't like it when games are difficult, but I love it. Because I don't want an easy win. I really want to fight for that win, and this is like my 3rd or 4th playthrough, so I haven't won yet, but it's fun. Every time I play this, actually, I have a lot of fun. I don't know why I'm shuffling this. This is the city cards. It doesn't need to be shuffled. I already shuffled that, so... yeah, I need to draw a mythos card, and then we get Carl Young here. So when you claim this, you may give this card to another player. That's not going to be helpful. And ongoing. Okay, so this is a good one. See, this is the one I was talking about earlier. It will require you to get 5 insanity to be driven insane instead of 3. So we really do need that card. Time is not on our side though. See, Cthulhu was able to exhaust 2 already. He needs to exhaust 3 more city spaces of primary card asset cards for him to win. So we'll do one more round here. Okay, so I got Agent Father Lackland here who can close gates, and also he can close gate as his action. Yeah, I think we can do that because I have enough. 1, 2, 3. Oh, I need 4. And he doesn't have any on him, because I want to try and keep this card so that I can also But the cool thing about Father Lackland is also he has an ability to retrieve all my influence from limbo, which is incredible, actually. Do I have? Oh, and oh, you know what? First action is claim agent Jared Lecoq. So let's do that first, just so that we can have him, and then I get this card immediately available for use. So second action, I should definitely use, because it would be a waste not to use this. Or I can use his ability to just gate all my influence back. You know what? Let's do that. So I'll keep this. And then I'm going to get all of my influence cubes back from limbo. And then next round we're gonna try and get that Call Young card. Yes, I still have 5 in my hand here, so I don't have to replenish my hand. So let's look at cultist cards. The cultist card. See what actions these guys are going to take. First cultist is going to assassinate and then add influence to its city space. She doesn't have anybody to assassinate, so she's going to move here. And she's going to place influence there. So she's going to place 2 influence on the city. So she can steal this away from me, so I have to be careful with that. So, and then second cultist is going to claim a primary asset card, and he does have influence here, so he's going to claim that. So let's see what that does. Let's resolve that. And then Night Gaunt is the reveal card here. Okay, so he's going to place an influence where he's at. So that's 1, 2 on the primary asset card. So he's going to add 2 more up here on that card. And then he's going to attempt to close the gate, but that's 1, 2, 3, 4. Shit, he's able to, open the gate. He's able to open that freaking gate. It's fucking crazy. Okay. Because whenever you have the open gate resolution, when they gain a primary asset card, it's like you do like a normal gate opening action, plus you add whatever that's on this card that you just get. In this case, he gets 1 more power. He has 1 power on his person. So 1, 2 on the behavior card, 3 on his own card, and then 4 on the primary asset card that he just got. So he's going to be able to close that gate. Open that gate. That's crazy. And that's 4 VP. 4 Cthulhu. 1, 2, 3, 4. Look at that. We're way behind. This is crazy. Okay. Yeah, this game is hard. And then add influence to an available mythos card. And then on top of that, he's going to add 2 influence here. So we have to fight him for that Call Young mythos card. But I'm going to end the session there. This is not looking good at all. 2 of the city spaces don't have any primary asset cards. I think multiple city spaces only have 1 primary asset card available. Given it's they have to be at the right place at the right time to claim, to place influence and then claim cards. But in the meantime, they're moving this up like so quickly, so fast. We are way behind. I was only able to claim 1 city, and that is right now being contested by Cultist 1. So I need to either place a lock here or make sure that I have more influence than her on this space so she cannot claim it. So that's probably the better strategy, is just to place 3 cubes here, 3 influence there, so she can't take over the city. Yeah, this game is very challenging. You have to every round is very important. I mean, this is like my fourth, I think, third official playthrough because the first playthrough was like all over the place. But you're beginning to get like form a strategy. I think a general strategy, and then of course you have to um, alter it a little bit depending on the elder god you're fighting against. So, but yeah, you're always on your toes actually playing this game, and I love that. And I love the fact that this is like Final Girl. You don't know if you're gonna win. It's hard to it's hard to win seemingly. I mean, with this game, fighting against two cultists who are doing all this damage every time it's the elder god's turn is just insane. I think what they should have done to make this, I think, a little bit more bearable, especially for people who don't like getting beaten by an automa, is when they are revealed, I think instead of three assets, they need to have just two. And this is why I think that they should have included like variations of the cultist one for cultist one, cultist two. So when they reveal, the available resources that they have is different between the variations available, and then every game you actually randomize which cultist one or which cultist two you're gonna get. I guess you can just do that yourself and just print some generic cards to replace these. But I think that would have been nice. It's one, it adds more variety to the game, and I think it balances it a little bit. I can see where this is definitely um, leaning more towards like the elder god versus the player when it comes to game balance, because they get to do a lot in one turn compared to what you can do. I mean, you don't even get like a third action or anything like that. Everything is the same. The only thing different from playing solo versus playing multiplayer, I think, is just ignore. There were only two things listed in the rulebook. One is just ignore anything that says interact with other players, and then two, there are like three different cards that you need to remove from the set. That's it. That's basically it. So you don't get like any additional turn or anything like that. So I still love this game though. But this is definitely not looking good. But it might still be possible. We'll see. Because like I said, since they don't have total control of where they're gonna land, it might it's going to be hard for them to try and clear the space. I think we still have time is basically what I'm saying. We still have time, I think, to turn this around. At least try and steal these cities. One of our card has the ability to unlock. I don't know what crazy person would give these cultists, I guess the designer of this solo mode, the ability to lock the cities every time they claim a city. They get a title lock, automatic title lock every time they claim a city. So as long as these lock tokens are still available, they get to lock every time they claim a city. We don't have that ability. Maybe there's a Mythos card that will provide a player that ability, but if I want to lock a city from being claimed, I have to use one of my cards abilities to place a lockdown or remove a lock. So they're making it very difficult to fight these cultists. But again, I love the game. I'm having fun. I look forward to see where this is going. But I'm going to stop here. I think I like to keep these sessions to like a half hour, maximum an hour every time I play a board game, because I've had sessions before that last like 2 hours, 2.5 hours. I think that might be a little too long to watch someone play a board game, even though you can always come back to it later. But I think it half hour to an hour is where I like to keep these sessions to. Versus like video games, I don't care. Hour, 2 hour, 3 hours. I don't think it matters. But and also, it's, as you can see when I play these board games, I have to stand up. So it's a lot of physical work for me as well. So, but thank you so much for watching. Please give the video a like. And also, if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel. It helps out a lot. So until next time, bye.